Good morning and welcome to Financial Friday, your end of week financial update with your credit union. We are so grateful to have you with us this morning. Hello there. I am Crystal Parker, the Financial Education and Community Outreach Ambassador, here to chat with you today. And today we're going to talk about debit or credit. What does that mean for us financially and how do we use it wisely? Give me just one moment. I'm going to stop my screen share and we'll start our conversation. All right. So we have had some members asking questions about debit cards and credit cards and how do we use them wisely? So I figure it might be best to take a step back and start with some basics, and then we'll dig a little deeper into our conversation today. Okay. So with debit cards, we have three options on how we can debit our accounts. The first is we could make a cash withdrawal. This could be done at an ATM, or this could be done with the teller at the credit union. Our other option for debiting our account is to write a check. Good old-fashioned checks. Some of us still use them quite regularly. Some of us never use them, but they are still a means of debiting our account. And then our third option is our debit card. And this might be the most popular option with many members for their checking accounts. But we also have to make sure that we're using this debit card responsibly. So how do we do this? Well, when you're using your debit card and you go to a merchant, there are many that give you the option of running your card as debit or credit. Now, I want to dispel a myth from the outset. When you swipe your debit card and use it as credit, you are not using it like a credit card. You are, in fact, using this as your debit card. But this becomes a point of sale transaction. So what does that mean? Well, debit typically means it's going to come out of your account immediately, but you do have to put it in your PIN to use this as a debit transaction. When you do it as credit, this becomes point of sale. And at this point, the merchant, has to take this information and send it to us so that we can then debit it from your account. This takes time. Some merchants are really fast about this. Some merchants not so much. They do have a few days to do this. Now, the thing to be mindful of is when you swipe that card and authorize this transaction to come out, you want to make sure that those funds are in your account right then when you're doing it, okay? Sometimes people think, well, I'm doing this as credit. This won't deduct until tomorrow and I get paid tomorrow. But you've authorized this transaction today. And so you've authorized it before the funds are actually available in your account. So don't swipe the card unless you know you actually have the funds available. So how do we do this? It's really important first to keep track of your transactions and to keep track of your funds. Different folks do this in different ways. Some have a spreadsheet that they're using. Some might use a note on their phone. Perhaps you're using an old-fashioned check register. Whatever you might be doing, make sure you're keeping track because it is your responsibility to know how much money is in your account. Because if you have $350 in your account on digital banking, but you've authorized a $45 transaction, you should know that you now have $305 in your account, even though digital banking doesn't say it yet. Because if you tried to go and spend $350, you would overdraw your account because you don't really have that much money in your account. So we just have to be mindful of that, and it's our personal responsibility to keep track of those amounts. There's another thing to make sure that you do to keep your funds secure and to keep track of everything. Keep your receipts. That's the second thing to do. This is really important, I think, with restaurants because those are transactions where you'll see, for example, you go out to eat, you spend $18.50. You might see a pending debit for $18.50, but you had a great server and you want to give them a 25% tip. Well, when you do that, let's see, $18.50, 25%, that would become $3.62.50. So we're just going to round up to $4.63. So then when you add that to the $18.50, we're now looking at $23.13 coming out of our account. Now, you'd want to keep a track on your account, you would eventually see that $18.50 debit hold fall away, and you should only see $23.13 come out of your account. But if you later check and see that that transaction is now for $24, that's 87 cents more than you authorized, and you would want to contact that restaurant to say, hey, you took more out of my account than I authorized. That's definitely not okay. Now, not many servers do this, but this does happen on occasion. And so you have to have that receipt because some merchants will require to see that receipt to show this is what you authorized, okay? So I know some folks will just get the two receipts from their server, sign the one, leave them both on the table, and you have no proof of what you've authorized. So keep those receipts, hold on to them, and verify what comes out of your account, okay? Now, the other thing is keep your card secure. There are a few ways that we do this. One, never, ever, ever share your PIN with folks because that information gives full access to your card. With your card number and your PIN number, someone could go to an ATM and withdraw as much money out as they could. Now, you also want to make sure that you're not sharing your card, just saying, hey, go ahead and buy this for me. That's risky business, all right? So keep your card for you, only you use it, and be mindful of where your card is. I know there are lots of folks who misplace their cards. I would recommend keep it in a wallet. That's your best option, but plenty of folks will just stick it in their pocket, stick it in a jacket. They have a hard time remembering which purse, pants, jacket, whatever it might be in. And so they'll use the digital banking app lock your card feature. That's great so that if somebody did find your card, they can't go and swipe it. But you could have transactions you've already authorized to come out of your account. And just because you've locked your card and use it electronically, it's not stopping these transactions from coming out. It's just preventing future use of the card physically, okay? So it's something to be mindful of. And then you also want to be mindful of where are you using your card online? Using a debit card is risky because if somebody uses this information to make a transaction and those funds come out of your account, those funds are gone. They're no longer available. So be careful where you're using your card online because not all websites are created equal. Not all websites are safe, and you don't want some fraudster to have your card information. So be careful where you use it because if you put in your card information, you've authorized this transaction and now you're financially on the hook for this. We don't want to see you get have any fraud on your account. So be careful with where you're using your card. Now, there's a few other things for us to be mindful of with their debit cards, and this can be a stress point for members, and that's fees. We don't want any extra money coming out of our account than we have to. And so we should be mindful of how we're incurring fees. And so one of the things that happens is that first way we can debit our account, cash, we go to the ATM to withdraw some money. Be mindful of the ATMs you use. If you are using an ATM that does not belong to Henrico Federal Credit Union or Bellwood Credit Union, or is not in the credit union network of ATMs, you could get hit and most likely will incur a surcharge from that financial institution that owns that ATM. They're going to make money off of you using their machine. And because we're reconciling that information with someone that's unknown to us, foreign, then you incur that foreign transaction fee. And so you get hit with not one, but two fees when you use an ATM not within our network. But there's a way to avoid this. Credit unions believe in cooperation among cooperatives, and we like working together to save our members money. So if you use the credit union network of ATMs, you're not going to incur a surcharge or a foreign transaction fee for that transaction. We as credit unions like to work together to save our members money. So go on digital banking or our website and you can look at the locations and see a list of Henrico Federal Credit Union, Bellwood Credit Union branches, as well as credit union network ATMs that you can use surcharge and foreign transaction fee free. Pretty great, right? Now, there's one other fee that we see members encountering, and that's a courtesy pay or overdraft fee. That happens because you've authorized a transaction to come out of your account when you do not have the funds available. So that goes back to the earlier conversation of Keep track of your funds. Know what's in your account. Know what you've authorized to come out, because as those things come out, if you don't have the funds available, you would incur an overdraft fee. Just because you'll get paid tomorrow doesn't mean it's okay to spend the money today. You could only spend what you have available today. Okay, so hopefully we can avoid the fees, but these are some things to be mindful of. Now, you might wonder, why would I even want to use a debit card if I can incur fees with this? Well, it's great for keeping track of your budget. If you're someone that has a hard time, you could have the option to opt out of courtesy pay. That can be challenging because if you say needed to get gas and you have the courtesy pay feature turned off, and you're willing to pay that $30 fee because you're completely stranded, you wouldn't be able to use your card. But if courtesy pay is enabled, you would incur a fee, you would overdraw your account, but you would be able to get the gas that you need. Another option to save you even more, an overdraft line of credit. You could pull that money from there, it would put it into your account, and then you would just pay it back later. If you pay it before it's due and you've incurred any interest, it's not hurting you and you're not incurring an overdraft fee. If you have questions about an overdraft line of credit, give us a call, come and see us, and we're happy to talk with you about it. But that's a way to help you. But using a debit card keeps you within your budget. Now, there's also the acceptance. Because it's a Visa debit card, it's accepted anywhere that Visa is accepted. And it's easy. It's faster than counting out the money to give to the merchant. It's also faster than writing a check. You just have to make sure you're only spending what you have available. Now, you might wonder, well then, if this debit card's so great, why would I need credit? Well, credit cards are great for establishing and maintaining your credit. They're also great for emergencies, and there's that protection of purchase. So let's take it back a little bit. Protection of purchases. If you spend money on your credit card, you're not financially on the hook immediately. Those funds aren't coming out of your account right now, and you're not paying for them until the bill comes. And as long as you pay for that bill by the due date, you're not getting any interest charges. You're not getting hit with a late fee if you pay on time and in full. The great thing is this is helping your credit. Now, a few weeks back here on Financial Friday, we did talk about credit scores, and there's a few things to be mindful of. With having a credit card, this is building your length of credit history. The longer you hold this card, the longer you're establishing your credit history. And as long as you don't close it, it's showing that you've got a really long relationship with a creditor and you manage it, hopefully, responsibly. And that's where that first part of your credit score that's worth the most, 35%, your payment history. If you can pay on your credit card every month on time, you're just going to see your credit score rise if you're doing that with all your creditors, all the people that you've borrowed money from. The other thing, 30% of your score is that amounts owed, and that pertains to revolving credit. So there's credit amounts that can adjust based on how much you spend. So if you use your credit card and you pay it off every month and you're not carrying a balance of more than 20 to 30%, you're going to see your credit score just keep going. On-time payments and keeping that low balance really helps to increase your credit score, and you're going to see some benefits from it. So credit cards are great if you can use them responsibly, making sure you pay them on time, not keeping a balance, and you're not just using it as free money. Now, things happen. You haven't gotten your paycheck yet. Maybe you have a flat tire and you really need to get that tire so you can go to work and keep getting that paycheck. That's when that credit card can be great. Swipe the card and pay it when the bill comes. So good things to give you that protection. And also those funds aren't coming out of your account right away. Those funds are available should you need them. So credit cards and debit cards are great. Debit cards can help keep you in budget as long as you're careful about your fees. Credit cards are great because the funds aren't coming out of your account right away. You just have to make sure you pay for them on time. So be careful with how you use them, whether it's your debit card or your credit card, but you're not financially on the hook if you're using your credit card online and you're a little bit worried about that merchant. So some things to think about. I hope this is helpful information for you, and we're going to dig more into debit cards and perhaps those fraudulent charges that you may see on your account on a future Financial Friday. We hope this is really helpful information for you, and we hope to see you again next week. Each Friday, you can join us here for Financial Friday for your end of week financial update. Hope you have a great week, everybody, and a beautiful day. Thanks so much.